Okay, we're going to begin today's proceedings with the swearing in of our new supervisor, John Morgan, oath administered by District Judge Paul Manzi.
Thank you, John. Is it on?
Tap the top, I think it is.
Is it green? Just green light?
There you go.
Yeah, there you go. You got it there.
Good morning, John.
Good morning, Your Honor.
It's great that you have your family behind you. They've probably been behind you for a while now.
Yes, sir.
Okay. This won't take long. Brian told me I had to take longer than 5 minutes. But I don't have that many jokes. And my cousin could come up here, Martinucci, he could tell a few. But, you know. If you'll please repeat after me. I, John E. Morgan,
I, John E. Morgan,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support,
that I will support,
obey, and defend the Constitution of the United States
obey, and defend the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of this Commonwealth,
and the Constitution of this Commonwealth,
and that I will discharge the duties of supervisor
and that I will discharge the duties of supervisor
in Mill Creek Township,
in Mill Creek Township,
Erie County,
Erie County,
with fidelity.
with fidelity.
Congratulations.
John, would you like to say a few words, please?
Well, I just want to thank everyone who came out today. I really do appreciate you being here. I appreciate all the support I've gotten over the past few years as part of this run supervisor. I'm honored and humbled that people of Mill Creek elected me to the position. I swear I'll do my very best to represent you well. Thank you very much.
Thank you, John. That's off now. Okay. We'll begin our reorganizational meeting with the election of a temporary chairman. I make a motion that we appoint Brian McGrath as temporary chairman for this reorganizational meeting.
I second the nomination.
Okay, Mr. Morgan? How do you vote, Mr. Morgan?
I vote yes.
And I vote yes. Mr. McGrath?
I vote yes.
Okay. It's all yours.
Okay, for a minute. Now, I'd like to call the meeting of January 4th to order, and we'll begin with a pledge to the flag. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
At this time, I'll call for the nomination of the chair for the Board of Supervisors for 2016.
I nominate John Grove for chairman.
I'll second that. Mr. Grove?
Yes.
Mr. Morgan?
Yes.
And I'll vote yes. And I guess we can turn it right back over to you then, John.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
As the chair.
Thank you. I call for the nomination and election of a vice chairman for the Board of Supervisors.
I nominate Brian McGrath.
And I will second that motion. Mr. McGrath, how do you vote?
Yes.
Mr. Morgan?
Yes.
And I vote yes. Okay. Moving on to item number 6, Township Secretary. Do I hear a motion?
I will move that John Grove be appointed the Township Secretary for 2016.
Do I hear a second on that?
I second.
Okay. Mr. McGrath?
Yes.
Mr. Morgan?
Yes.
And I vote yes. Next is number 7, Assistant Township Secretary. Do I hear a motion?
I nominate Cheryl Williams for assistant township secretary.
And do I hear a second?
I'll second that.
Okay, Mr. McGrath.
Yes.
Mr. Morgan.
Yes.
And I vote yes. Township Treasurer, number 8.
I'll move that Mark Zachewski be appointed the Township Treasurer.
Okay, do I hear a second on that motion?
I second.
Okay, Mr. Morgan, how do you vote?
Yes.
Mr. McGrath?
Yes.
And I vote yes. Township Engineer, number 9. Item number 9. Do I hear a motion to appoint an engineer?
I move that we appoint Rick Morris as township engineer.
I'll second that.
Okay. Mr. McGrath, how do you vote?
Yes.
Mr. Morgan?
Yes.
And I vote yes. Township Solicitor, number 10.
I'll move that Evan Adair be appointed Township Solicitor.
Okay, do I hear a second on that?
I second the motion.
Okay. Mr. Morgan, how do you vote?
Yes.
Mr. McGrath?
Yes.
And I vote yes. Let's see here. Number 11, Roadmaster, District 1. That's all roads east of I-79. Do I hear a motion?
I'll move that John Morgan be Roadmaster for District 1.
Okay, and I will second that motion. Mr. Morgan, how do you vote?
I vote yes.
Mr. McGrath?
Yes.
And I vote yes. Roadmaster, District 2, all roads west of I-79. Do I hear a motion?
I move that we appoint Brian McGrath as Roadmaster.
And I will second that motion. Mr. McGrath, how do you
Yes.
vote? Mr. Morgan?
Yes.
And I vote yes. Administrator of Public Safety, number 13.
I'll move that John Grow be appointed as well to the employee position of Administrator of Public Safety, and in that capacity to serve as the board's liaison to and with responsibility for day-to-day oversight of the police department, police clerks, radio dispatchers, emergency medical services, emergency management, information technology, fire prevention, and code enforcement, and as the board's liaison to the Fire Chiefs Association, Erie and Mill Creek Water Authorities, and the Sewer Authority.
Do I hear a second on that?
I second the motion.
Okay, Mr. McGrath?
Yes.
Mr. Morgan?
Yes.
And I vote yes. Item number 14, Administrator of Streets, Sewer, Recycling, Buildings and Grounds, and Recreation. Do I hear a motion for that administrator?
I move that Brian McGrath be appointed as well to the employee position of Administrator of Streets, Sewer, Recycling, Building and Grounds, and Recreation, and in that capacity to serve as the board's liaison to and with responsibility for day-to-day oversight of the Streets Department, Garage, Sewer Department, Public Services, Recycling Coordinator, and Millfair Recycling Center, Building and Maintenance Department, and Parks and Recreation Department, and as the board's liaison to the Recycling Advisory and Education Committee.
Okay, and I will second that motion. Mr. Morgan, how do you vote?
I vote yes.
Mr. McGrath?
Yes.
And I vote yes. Number 15, Administrator of Traffic Engineering and Administrative Services. Do I hear a motion?
I move that John Morgan be appointed as well to the employee position of Administrator of Traffic Engineering and Administrative Services, and in that capacity to serve as the board's liaison to and with responsibility for day-to-day oversight of the Traffic and Signal Department, administrative offices, including payroll, accounts payable, street lighting, assessments, and switchboard, human resources, other administrative services, engineering department, zoning and code enforcement department, senior services, and chairman of the safety committee, and as the board's liaison to the planning commission and zoning hearing board.
Okay, I will second that motion. Mr. McGrath, how do you vote?
Yes.
Mr. Morgan?
I vote yes.
And I vote yes. Item number 16, delegate and alternate delegate to the 2016 PSATS convention. Do I hear a motion for both of those, delegate and alternate?
I move that John Grow be appointed the township's delegate and John Morgan the township's alternate delegate to the 2016 PSATS convention, each in their capacities as Administrator of Public Safety and Administrator of Traffic Engineering and Administrative Services, respectively.
Okay, do I hear a second?
I second.
Okay. Excuse me a second there. Mr. Morgan, how do you vote?
I vote yes.
And Mr. McGrath?
Yes.
Okay, and I vote yes too. Number 17, member of ECADO Executive Committee for 2016. Do I hear a motion for that delegate?
I move that John Morgan, in his capacity as Administrator of Traffic Engineering and Administrative Services, be appointed the township's representative on the Executive Committee of ECADO for 2016.
And I will second that motion. Mr. McGrath? How do you-
Yes.
And I vote yes. Mr. Morgan, how do you vote?
I vote yes.
Okay. Number 18, representative and alternate representatives to the Erie Area Council of Governments for 2016. Do I hear a motion for that?
I move that Brian McGrath, in his capacity as Administrator of Streets, Recycling, Building and Grounds, Parks and Recreation, and Roadmaster John Grow, in his capacity as Administrator of Public Safety, and myself, John Morgan, in my capacity as Administrator of Traffic Engineering and Administrative Services and Roadmaster, be appointed respectively the Township's representative and alternate representatives to the Erie Area Council of Governments for 2016.
Okay, do I hear a second on that?
I'll second it.
Okay, Brian seconded. Mr. McGrath, how do you vote?
Yes.
I vote yes. Mr. Morgan?
I vote yes.
Okay. Number 20, representative to the Community Coalition and Greater Erie Industrial Development Corporation for 2016. Do I hear a motion for that representative?
I move that Township Engineer Richard Morris be appointed the Township's representative and John Morgan, in his capacity as Administrator of Traffic Engineering and Administrative Services, the alternate representative to the Solid Waste Pact for 2016.
Okay, and I will second that motion. Mr. Morgan, how do you vote?
I vote yes.
Mr. McGrath?
Yes.
And I vote yes. Number 21, representative of the Coastal Zone Management for 2016.
Skipped one.
Oh, did I? I'm sorry. Oh, I'm sorry. Pardon me. Number 20, Community Coalition. I think that's the one I just did. I must have skipped 19.
No, you did solid waste. We're good.
Okay.
I move that John Morgan, in his capacity as Administrator of Traffic Engineering and Administrative Services, be appointed the Township's representative to the Community Coalition and the Greater Erie Industrial Development Corporation for 2016.
Okay. Do I hear a second on that? I will second that. Mr. Morgan, how do you vote?
I vote yes.
Mr. McGrath?
Yes.
And I vote yes. Okay, now we're down to 21.
Yep.
Okay, number 21, representative of the Coastal Zone Management for 2016. Do I hear a motion?
I move that John Morgan, in his capacity as Administrator of Traffic Engineering and Administrative Services and Roadmaster, be appointed the representative, and Township Engineer Richard Morris, the alternate representative to the Coastal Zone Management for 2016.
And I will second that motion. Mr. McGrath, how do you vote?
Yes.
Mr. Morgan?
Yes.
And I vote yes. Number 22, representative for the Metropolitan Planning Organization. Do I hear a motion?
I move that Thomas Hoffman and John Morgan, in his capacity as Administrator of Traffic Engineering and Administrative Services and Roadmaster, be appointed voting representatives, and Engineer Richard Morris and Assistant Engineer Ann Sokol, the alternate representatives, to the Metropolitan Planning Organization for 2016.
Okay, do I hear a second on that? I will make the second on that. Mr. McGrath, how do you vote?
Yes.
Mr. Morgan?
Yes.
And I vote yes. Number 23, the 2016 representative for the HUD Community Development Block Grant for 2016.
I move that John Morgan, in his capacity as Administrator of Traffic Engineering and Administrative Services and Roadmaster, be appointed the Township's representative to the HUD Community Development Block Grant for 2016.
And I will second that there. Mr. Morgan, how do you vote?
Yes.
I vote yes. Mr. McGrath?
Yes.
And number 24, representative for the Emerge 2040 for 2016. Do I hear a motion on that?
I move that John Morgan, in his capacity as Administrator of Traffic Engineering and Administrative Services and Roadmaster, be appointed the Township's representative to Emerge 2040 for 2016.
And I will second that motion. Mr. McGrath, how do you vote?
Yes.
And I vote yes. Mr. Morgan, how do you vote?
Yes.
Okay. And let's see here. Resolution 2016 R-1, definition of administrator and liaison duties.
I move that the board adopt Resolution 2016-R-1, a resolution providing that the administrators of public safety, of streets, sewer, recycling, buildings and grounds, and recreation, and of traffic engineering and administrative services are appointed as the board's liaisons to the respective departments and agencies. Their responsibilities to include day-to-day communications with the department heads and the public, that the administrators shall report to the Board of Supervisors, which retains full authority for decisions, and that appointment of administrators does not modify responsibilities previously assigned to department heads.
Okay. Do I hear a second on that motion?
I'll second.
Okay. Mr. Morgan, how do you vote?
I vote yes.
Mr. McGrath?
Yes.
And I vote yes. Let's see, number 26, under financial matters, establish a bond for the treasurer for 2016.
I move that the bond for the treasurer be established and maintained at $1 million for 2016.
I'll second that.
Okay. Mr. McGrath, how do you vote?
Yes.
Mr. Morgan?
I vote yes.
And I vote yes. Number 27, nominate fund depositories for 2016. We do have a list. If anybody wants, and I don't know if anybody wants us to read them all off, but we deal with the following banks here. PNC Bank, First National Bank of Pennsylvania, Citizens Bank, Northwest Savings Bank. We also have funds in the Neuberger Berman Private Equity Fund, that is for the police and township employees' pension, and Vanguard International Growth Fund, again, for the pension plans. We don't have the numbers listed on here, all of them there, but anyway, those are the banks and financial institutions we are dealing with this year.
More on the back.
Oh, I'm sorry, pardon me, there's three more been brought to my attention here. DFA International Core Fund for the pension plans again. Multi-Employer Property Trust, once again for the pension plans, and of course Erie Bank for several different accounts, checking and savings accounts. So if you want those numbers, we can give those to you after the meeting. Anyway, I need a motion to approve that.
I move to approve the list of fund depositors 2016 as noted by Chairman Grow.
I'll second that.
Okay, Mr. McGrath, how do you vote?
Yes.
And I vote yes. Mr. Morgan?
I vote yes.
Okay. Administrative matters. Number 28, communicate appointments. Give me a second here. Got a lot of paper here. You have it with you?
I do.
Okay. Yeah. Just share that here. Mine's in here somewhere. Okay. Bear with me just a second. Okay.
Want me to do 28 first?
You want to do 28?
Yep.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'll move that the Township Secretary provide to the Board of Auditors written notice of the appointments of Township Secretary, Roadmasters, and Administrators and their respective employee responsibilities, and also confirm this Board's establishment of bond for the Treasurer in the amount fixed.
Okay.
That's a motion.
Do I hear a second on that motion?
I second the motion.
Okay, Mr. McGrath, how do you vote?
Yes.
Mr. Morgan, how do you vote?
I vote yes.
Okay, and I vote yes, too. Okay, number 29, committee authority and commission appointments. Number 29. Let's see here. I'll go through the list here. On the Planning Commission, of course, Mr. Morgan had served in that capacity until his recent victory in the election and taken office as Township Supervisor. So there is a vacancy on that. There will be some discussion. We've had some interest from Mill Creek residents. Recreation and Parks, you want to handle that one there?
Yes.
Okay.
At the recommendation of Ashley Marsteller, our Director of Parks and Recreation, she would like Heather Hines appointed to the vacancy created by the resignation of Sue Strohmeyer. So I would move that Heather Hines be appointed to the Parks and Recreation Commission.
Okay, do I hear a second on that?
I'll second the motion.
Okay, Mr. McGrath?
Yes.
Mr. Morgan?
Yes.
And I vote yes. Okay, now there's another vacancy, and that had to do with the school board appointments. Judy Wheaton had served in that capacity. I guess they will appoint somebody new this year.
They'll notify us.
Reorganization. They'll notify us.
Yep.
Okay, the Recycling Education and Advisory Committee. Those folks are being reappointed. Marge Cornelius, Steve Cornelius, Carl Kronmeyer, Ken Fromnecht, Charles Glover, Grace Horton, Kathleen Horton, Cassie Pell, Mary Kate Vitale, and Roy Walkema. Do I hear a motion to reappoint those?
So moved.
Do I hear a second on that?
I second.
Okay, Mr. McGrath, how do you vote?
Yes.
Mr. Morgan?
Yes.
And I vote yes. Okay. Sewer Authority. We have a vacancy on that there, two vacancies actually, or a vacancy and a reappointment. Do you want to handle that, or do you want me to handle it?
John was going to.
John, okay, John was going to handle that, yep.
I move to appoint Sue Bussey and John DePlacido respectively to the Sewer Authority.
I'll second that.
Okay. Mr. McGrath?
Yes.
Mr. Morgan?
Yes.
And I vote yes. Let's see here. UCC Appeal Board, to a term to expire January 15th, 2017.
I'll move that Attorney Jay Shimmick be reappointed to that position.
Okay, do I hear a second on that?
I second.
Mr. Morgan, how do you vote?
Yes.
Mr. McGrath?
Yes.
And I vote yes. Mill Creek Township Vacancy Board for a one-year term to expire January 15th, 2017. I make a motion to appoint Reverend John Dedish of St. Jude's Church to fill that position there for a one-year term. Do I hear a second on that?
I'll second.
Okay, thank you. Okay, Mr. McGrath, how do you
Yes.
vote? Mr. Morgan, how do you vote?
Yes.
And I vote yes. Water Authority for a term to expire January 15th, 2021. We have two reappointments there.
I move to reappoint Dean Swanson and Bobby Strong respectively.
Okay, do I hear a second on that?
I'll second that.
Okay, Mr. McGrath?
Yes.
Mr. Morgan?
Yes.
And I vote yes.
Just as a FYI, I guess we could let the folks know that there is a third vacancy created by Mr. Figaski's departure, but I think I can speak for the board that since the Water Authority is probably going to be dissolved in short term, that there's really no need to fill the third vacancy right now.
And we do appreciate their interest in continuing this out, you know, until the...
Both Dean and Bob.
Yeah,
yes.
both Dean and Bobby and all the members of the Water Authority to help through that transition. And they've been asked and they've said they would, and so we greatly appreciate that. Zoning Hearing Board, we have a vacancy or a reappointment on that. Reappointments.
Both.
Yes. Do I hear a motion on that?
I'll move that Fred Infield and Art Gellner both be reappointed to the Zoning Hearing Board.
Okay, do I hear a second on that?
I second.
Okay, Mr. Morgan, how do you vote?
Yes.
Mr. McGrath?
Yes.
And I vote yes. We have a vacancy on the Property Maintenance and Fire Code Board of Appeals. It's an indefinite term. There is a vacancy, so if there are Mill Creek residents interested in serving in this capacity, I think that we haven't had any meetings or any hearings.
Not recently.
No. So there is a vacancy on that. So if you are interested, any Mill Creek resident, please notify our office, and we'll get the proper paperwork over to you and have further discussion with you. Okay, next thing on the agenda. That was all 29 there, right? Yeah, okay. Number 30, designation of regular meetings of the Board of Supervisors. Let's see here. Try to remember all these because these are the dates that the meetings will be held this year. The regular board meetings will be held, this is the Mill Creek Supervisors, will be held on Tuesdays at 9:30 on the following dates. February 9th, March 8th, April 5th, May 10th, June 14th, July the 12th, August 9th, September 13th, October 11th, November 15th and 29th, December 6th and 27th. The following meetings will be held at 7 p.m. on the following Tuesdays: January 26th, February 23rd, March 22nd, April 12th, May 24th, June 28th, July 26th, August 23rd, September 27th, and October the 25th. The Mill Creek Township Zoning Hearing Board will meet the last Wednesday of each month at 7 p.m. with no meeting in November, but will meet on December the 7th. The Mill Creek Township Planning Commission will meet the first Tuesday of each month at 7 p.m. The Mill Creek Township Recreation and Parks Commission will meet on the first Wednesdays of February, March, May, June, July, September, and November at 7 p.m. The Township Recycling, Education, and Advisory Committee will meet on the following Thursdays: May 5th, October 13th, December 8th at 5 p.m. Meetings are held in this assembly room at the Township Building. Of course, these are always announced on our website and
On the calendar.
and on the calendars too. Yes, the calendars that you should have received by now. So those dates and times are already on there. So just want to make that known. We don't have to approve that, do we?
Evan, do we approve that formally?
Do we have to?
I think you should.
Okay. I'll move that the meeting schedule for both the Board of Supervisors and the Zoning Hearing Boards and Planning Commission for 2016 be approved.
Okay, do I hear a second on that?
I second.
Okay, Mr. McGrath?
Yes.
Mr. Morgan?
Yes.
And I vote yes. Okay, number 31, Resolution 2016 R-2. Give me a second there. Okay. Be it resolved.
I think John was going to do that one.
Okay, John, you want to do that? Yeah.
I move that we adopt Resolution 2016-R-2. Be resolved that we, the supervisors of Mill Creek Township, Erie County, Pennsylvania, hereby authorize the township supervisors in their employed capacities, Mill Creek Township volunteer firefighters, the secretary, and employees as authorized by the township supervisors of the Township of Mill Creek to attend such meetings and events during 2016 that pertain to the fulfillment of their duties as township officials and employees.
I'll second that.
Okay. Mr. Morgan, how do you vote?
Yes?
Mr. McGrath?
Yes.
And I vote yes. Item number 32, employee salaries or management salaries. We have the list of salaries here rather than go through all of them because it's 2 pages long. This is available. It is public information.
And my guess it'll be in the paper tomorrow?
It might even be in today. You know, let's see here. Probably by 11:30, I'll bet. Okay.
And again, an FYI, I guess that
Yeah.
the salaries reflect a 3%, for the most part, for the vast majority of 3% increase, as was the case for the AFSCME civilian employees.
Okay. Do I hear a second on that motion to approve the salaries?
I second?
Okay. Mr. McGrath?
Yes.
Mr. Morgan?
Yes.
And I vote yes. Okay, that concludes the reorganizational meeting. I call for an adjournment of the reorganizational meeting only. Do I hear a motion to approve?
I move to adjourn the meeting.
Okay.
I'll second.
Okay, and I vote yes. Everybody votes yes on that. Okay, we'll begin with the regular meeting for January the 4th. We'll call to order. Item number 2 is public comment on agenda items other than development or rezoning applications. Do we have any comments on our agenda items? Yes, sir. If you would, please come forward. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Do we have one of the TV stations has their camera there? I'm sorry about that. If you would please come to the podium there, write down your name and address, and then state your name and address for the record too, please.
My name, Robert Wisnicki.
Okay. You have 5 minutes there, sir. If you would.
I have been absent from several of these, so I apologize. I may have missed something. It's only a comment to what I heard today. When you went over items, one of the items had to deal with the financial institutions that this township deals with.
Okay.
Trying to look for it. All right, number 27, nominate fund depositors for 2016.
Yes.
Just caught my ear, it's surprising, no federal credit unions. I'm just trying to understand why that might be.
Okay, I could refer that over to Mark. Do you have any comment on, I know we have not, or Brian, you haven't, to our recollection, we've never put money into any credit
Not
unions.
that I recall,
Deposit.
although we do permit employee automatic deposits from their salaries into our credit union, into America.
Legal reason for that, or if it just has been common practice, because I prefer myself credit unions over banks.
Okay.
Actually, Mark, could I ask a question of Mark? How do we select the financial institutions that we utilize?
Periodically, we solicit a quotation for them. The funds were at PNC for the most part. The Erie bank accounts were primarily PNC bank accounts in 2013, 2014, and they were moved to Erie Bank because of that selection process. So we periodically will go out for bid for those.
Yeah.
Do you know if we've had credit unions actually bid on those?
I'm not, well, I'd have to look up. I'm not sure if there's a legal limitation there, because being a public institution, all of the funds of the township have to be guaranteed by the financial institution. and means they have to have a particular kind of investment that guarantees that the monies, if something happens to the bank, the township funds are not subject to any FDIC, FCUA regulations, limitations. So, the $250,000 that the FDIC guarantees is non-existent for public funds.
Okay.
Thank you for the clarification. My only comment is, I like it when it's the smaller institutions. I hope that we never get involved with a financial institution that's too big to fail.
Yep.
Thank you.
Appreciate your comments, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Moving on to item number 3 of the regular meeting, approval of minutes. Are any additions or corrections? If none, I'll take a motion to approve that.
I'll move that the minutes from December 22nd be approved.
I'll second that. Mr. McGrath?
Yes.
I vote yes. I think, do we get John to vote on that there too, Evan? Does John vote on? He can? Okay, Mr. Morgan, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to keep you out of that there.
I trust you guys. I'll vote yes.
Okay. Okay, thank you. Those are approved. You vote yes?
Yes.
Yeah, then I vote yes. Okay, yeah. Okay, got that taken care of. The bills, number 4. Right here, any additions or corrections to the bills? Any comments, questions? If none, I'll call for a motion. Do I hear a motion?
I'll move that we pay the bills.
Okay, do I hear a second on that?
I second.
Okay. Mr. McGrath?
Yes.
Mr. Morgan?
Yes.
And I vote yes. Let's see here. Ordinance 2016-1. Do I hear, let's see here. This is an ordinance to amend the Mill Creek Township zoning ordinance 2011-8 as amended by changing the classification of certain parcels of land situate at the Township of Mill Creek, Erie County, Pennsylvania, described as follows to wit. Property at 5440 Henderson Road, now zoned light, I-1 light industrial, to be rezoned to R1 single-family residential district, and property at 2381 Zimmerly Road, now zoned C1, local commercial, to be rezoned to C4 commercial district. Of course, we've already approved those. We just need to get the formality to the paper. Do I hear a motion on that?
I'll move approval.
Do I hear a second on that?
I'll second.
Okay. Mr. Morgan, how do you vote?
Yes.
Mr. McGrath?
Yes.
And I vote yes. Resolution 2016-R3. Let's see here. And this has to do with the Mill Creek Township pension plan for the police. Let's see here. Should we get comment from Mark on that? Mark, would you be willing to take comment on that?
Well, traditionally, the police have contributed 5% of their earnings to the pension plan, and this continues that contribution.
Right. Nothing has changed on it. We just have to redo this annually then. Yeah. Okay. Do I hear a motion to approve Resolution 2016-R3?
I'll move approval.
Do I hear a second on that?
I second.
Okay. Mr. Morgan?
Yes.
Mr. McGrath?
Yes.
And I vote yes. Let's see here. Under communications. Okay. Communications, number 7. Mark, do you have anything?
No, I do not.
Okay. Brian?
A couple of quick things. First, as a reminder that the Christmas tree recycling event will be held again this Saturday, January 9th, from 9 a.m. until noon at the Mill Fair Recycling Center. Contributions will be gratefully accepted, with proceeds going to the Emmaus Soup Kitchen.
Okay.
Hopefully we'll have good weather.
Yes.
And the only other thing I have is from Diane Lyons. We did receive last week, I believe it was, a letter from Mr. Figaski, now former Supervisor Rick Figaski, in regard to, it's kind of a formal request, and I won't read the whole letter, but he would like to, well, I will read it, it's brief. As you are well aware, I've opted not to seek re-election to my political position of Mill Creek Township Supervisor in 2015 due to personal reasons. I'm requesting that the township allow me to retain my appointed employee position in the township. Please notify me in writing of the township's decision on this matter. You can email me or write. somewhat out of the ordinary, but I think that since he is asking for a formal notification in writing, that it would require some action by the board. So I would move that we notify Mr. Figaski that the position is not vacant, that it has been filled by Mr. Grove for 2016. And we'll move that we notify him as such.
Okay. Do I hear a second on that motion?
I second.
Okay. Mr. McGrath, how do you
Yes.
vote? Mr. Morgan, how do you vote?
Yes.
And I vote yes on that.
That's
there,
all I
too.
have.
Okay, we'll send a formal letter out to or an
Notify
email or to notify
Mrs.
Mr.
Lyons.
Figaski. Okay. Okay. I have one here from Diane Lyons regarding employment. Let's see here. And this is in regards to Michael Tesor, a newly created position which will be effective February 1st, 2016. He will be the Director of Police. Mike will be stepping down as formal chief with the police department, but will be the Director of Police through the end of the year. Mike has worked for the Mill Creek Police Department since 1987 and has moved through the ranks, with his latest role being the Chief of Police since February of 2014. Mike will be assuming this role as Civilian Director of Police. And if she had any other questions, we're supposed to let her know. So I'm going to make a motion that we keep Mike Tesor on through the remainder of the year as a Civilian Police Chief. And this, of course, will be effective February 1 of this year. So
That's a motion?
that's a motion.
I'll,
yeah.
I'll second that.
If I might, I don't think it would hurt if you gave a little more explanation
Okay.
as to why the same person is going from one position to another.
Okay, yes, that's probably a good idea. Thank you, Evan. Yes, as many of you are aware, we have police, well, not many of you are aware, but some are aware. Right now, we are in negotiations with the Mill Creek Police Association for their union contract. It appears that it's probably headed for arbitration.
I would think so.
Yeah, I think that's where it's headed. But anyway, we'd like to keep Mike on as the chief, as a civilian. He is retiring due to the fact he has been involved with the DROP program, and he is required to retire as the position of chief of police January 31st, since that is the date that he announced would be his retirement. So this is just a measure to keep him on there, to oversee the department until the time can be that we formally hire a police chief. So
This is somewhat, not somewhat,
It's
it's very much out of the ordinary for Mill Creek Township. We have typically promoted from within in police capacity, being the chief of police. And at our request, Diane Lyons was able to determine the terms of the most recent police officers. And just for everyone, for the public's benefit, Chief Storton, Bill Storton, was the chief of police for over 15 years. Chief Rich Andrews was chief for over 5 years. Tom Carlotti was nearly 5 years. Chief Tesor has been chief for less than 2 years. I think it's the board's feeling, or at least the previous board, when we entered into talks with Chief Tesor about staying on, that it's difficult for any chief of police to make any kind of meaningful changes to the operation of the department in less than 2 years, which is how long he's been here. The chief has done a very good job. He's made some changes that he would like to incorporate into the procedures of the department, and he has some more changes that he would also like to make. And I think that in order to allow Chief Tesor to make those changes and incorporate some of the things that he would like to see done in the police department, he simply needs more time. That, and as you said, John, we are in negotiations and likely arbitration for a new contract, and changing horses midstream would
Right.
I believe, create some issues.
Right.
So I agree, John, that I think it's a good idea to
Yeah.
keep Chief Tesor on.
Right, yeah. Okay.
Chairman, I have a question.
Yes.
Is the intention, and I apologize for not really being involved in discussions previously, is the intention for this to be an ongoing position to no longer have a chief of police?
I don't think that that's anyone's intention. I think that this is circumstances somewhat out of the ordinary. It can never be ruled out. I think that that's an option that the Board of Supervisors has, but it's never been used in Mill Creek that I'm aware of previously. It's used in other locations throughout the state, having a civilian as the director of police operations. But it's not, speaking for myself, it's not my intention to rule out promoting from within. I think that this is just an option that the board should utilize at this point.
Yeah. And that's the same track that I'm thinking of there too. This is just a temporary measure for right now. I believe that in the future, hopefully by next year, at least that's what my thought is, that we have a police chief in place. It may be somebody from within. I'm just going to add this, that we may be seeking outside too. It's nice to open up the spectrum of possible applicants for this. We do have one of the finest police forces in the state, probably in this region. Nothing wrong with that. I think we do a really good job. But we'd like to see what options we have out there and see who else may be interested in serving as chief. That's just my thought on that there. So hopefully that answers your question for you, John.
John, we should be calling for public comment on the last two things that I brought up. And we didn't, not that they were important.
Yeah. We haven't voted on this there, yeah.
So
Okay.
you should call for public comment
Yeah,
on this.
okay. Brian just brought up something that we should have public comment on this and a couple items before there too. So on this particular item in regards to the employment of Michael Tesor as Director of Police, do we have any public comment on this? I apologize for stepping out of turn there on that.
I would like to comment, please.
Please.
Seeing as how I had some dealings with the chief of police last year, I would just like to know, what does this have to do with, he's retiring, and so what is this gonna have to do with his pension fund then? His the money? Is it, he gonna be getting a little raise here, or because he's gonna be extended into?
And John, if I could,
Yeah, please.
John didn't mention the salary, but the salary would remain the same after his retirement as it is currently, which is $106,090 per year. He would not, jump in here if I'm wrong, Mark, but he would not be eligible to participate in the civilian pension plan because he's already going to be receiving a pension as a police officer.
That's correct.
Similar to Mr. Figaski's situation, he was not permitted to be in our civilian pension plan because he was receiving, you can't receive two pensions from the same place.
Right.
Okay.
Does that answer your question?
Well, yeah, that
Okay.
answers that question, but
Okay.
I'd just like to make a comment too, that I think that Mill Creek Township would benefit a great deal by opening up this position to outside of the police department.
Yep. Okay, thank you. Okay, any other public comment on this matter? Being none. Thank you, Mrs. Hartle. Okay. Now we'll call for a vote. We haven't had a vote on this, right, Cheryl? Okay. Mr. McGrath, how do you vote?
Yes.
Mr. Morgan, how do you vote?
I just want to comment. I don't want to make any waves. I know this was a long negotiation for you gentlemen. I do have some concerns about creating a new position and to break with precedent. So I do look forward to working with you gentlemen to try and figure out a succession plan over the next year, so we have a situation again in the future. But like I said, I will vote yes. I understand that Mr. Figaski and the two of you put a lot of work into this, but I do have some concerns about it. I look forward to trying to resolve those with you.
Okay. Okay. Vote yes on that?
I vote yes.
Okay, and I vote yes. Okay. Want me to go back to those other ones there, Brian? I think
Well, the only one that we really voted on was the letter from Figaski, but I guess if...
Oh, okay.
Or for Figaski, if you'd like to call for public comment on that
Yes.
one.
Okay, yeah, that communication that Brian had mentioned from Rick Figaski regarding the possibility of being retained as Township Secretary. I apologized. Was there any public comment on that matter? Okay, being none, if you'd noted that for the record there, Cheryl. Thank you. Okay. Mr. Morgan, any communications?
Not since 8 a.m. this morning.
Okay.
You never know.
Mr. Adair?
I have nothing.
Okay. Cheryl? Rick Morris? Nothing. Okay. Public comment, citizens to be heard. Number 8. Do we have any citizens to be
I
heard?
think I'll be heard again.
Okay.
I do have a comment. It's a very important comment to me.
If you would, just for the record, please state your name again there.
Dolores Hartle,
Okay.
5024 LaRae Drive. I'm here, of course, because, you know, I was one of the people that was kicked out of the senior center last year. And since then, I've also been kicked out of the senior center as it is now, today. So I'm looking for new horizons here in Mill Creek Township. And I'm hoping that after reading Gaskey's great letter to the about his retirement and the comments that he made about the senior center at Mill Creek, I'm sure everybody read it because that surely hit home with me. Some seniors in the township might not shed a tear over Gaskey's department from township government. Well, I'm not shedding any tears, but I wish him well. He was in the middle of an ongoing controversy about supervisors unexpectedly decided to May 2014 to end the contract early with Mecca Inc., which was the group that was providing all the time and energies to the senior center. And so, which they ran the Joy Center in space at the township lease on the Legion Road. Now, my question is that building still being leased with our money?
Unfortunately, yes, it is. And we're in talks with the U.S. Postal Service to get out of that lease. And it looks like we're heading towards a resolution to it, yes.
Okay, so, Mr. Fagaski, this contract is for 3 years. So at the very end of his, I'm not going to read it all, but he said, the issues still linger between Mecca, the seniors, and the supervisors. But Fagaski said he thinks the new Board of Supervisors, there you are, will revisit the issue of a center. I think they would like to see some kind of community center where several municipalities join together. So whether it's a group or just a senior center or a place where anybody can go and use it, I'm asking, would you give some real deep thought to this? And I'd like to have be able to put some comments in if you do.
I'd love to. Yeah, can I reply to this on?
I'm really looking forward
Yes.
to Mill Creek getting some kind of a senior center in Mill Creek that's conveniently located for the benefit of the seniors.
Okay. If I could just comment, and I've made these comments before in public, something more of a community-oriented service center, not just for seniors, for everybody to use. I would like to go down that, investigate that possibility sometime here. The thing it's going to take is good planning, okay? And use this as something to benefit all Mill Creek residents, and maybe something that would extend to other communities. We'd all have to work together. It takes good planning on this. You need to know how it's operation, who's going to fund it. That's the biggest thing, is how is it going to be funded? Something that benefits more people is likely to get some aid from other agencies, from the state and federal levels, hopefully. You never know. This was the biggest problem I had with the way the Joy Center was being operated. It was, in my estimation, something to gear for just one small group of people. Mill Creek is more than just 20% senior citizens. It's 100%, 53,000 residents that are here.
I agree 100%
So
with
I think
that.
we really do have common ground on this, Dee. Mrs. Hartle, I'm sorry. That we do have common ground on this, but I think it's something that for everybody. And I think that Mill Creek residents would support that idea. I really do.
I think so too, because I've been out getting some feedback from
Yeah.
people,
Yeah.
and also a couple, or
Yeah.
people that might be interested in working on a committee with you.
Okay.
So I'm asking
Give
that
it-
this project might get started ASAP as soon as you can.
Well,
And,
I wouldn't say that
agree
quick, you know.
Well, listen, I just want to say that I do agree that it could be a community thing. The seniors could have a place they could come to during the daytime because most of them don't go out at night. In the evenings and other places
Yeah.
could be used for other things like kids programs or
Sure.
However, don't forget about the gold card. You know,
The
the
gold
gold
card,
card
yeah.
is used by a lot of young adults for in the school, in the programs, swimming and things like that. I just wanted to remind you that there is that item out there too.
Well, the gold card isn't used by young people.
No.
Well,
The
people,
Parks and Rec program is, yes.
Yeah.
The gold card is for seniors.
Yeah.
well, seniors don't get a chance to use the swimming pool very much and things like that because it's always filled with younger people.
Good point.
We don't really need a swimming pool, we just need a place to go.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes.
um,
Yeah, please.
You and Mr. McGrath were kind enough to appoint me as the liaison to senior services. I'd be happy to take the lead on this effort if you'll give me some leeway to start working with Ms. Hartle. And also, I have had conversations with our Director of Public Services, Judy Zelina, about this issue. With your permission, if you, Mr. McGrath, will allow, I'd love to take the lead on this and see if we can't do that planning and move this thing forward as quickly as possible.
Please. Yeah. I think with your knowledge, and I mean this in all sincerity, your knowledge of planning and how to get things done, this could be very beneficial instead of just throwing some money at something and hoping that it works. And that's unfortunately what happened here with the Joy Center. And I'm not trying to get nasty. I'm just
No,
saying that,
I agree with you because,
it was throwing money and it didn't work. So,
It didn't work, but
Yeah.
unfortunately, the seniors were not even involved in the closing of it. We had no idea what was going on.
Okay.
I mean, I have found out recently through my own investigation what actually was taking place.
Okay.
So I'm here on my behalf, and I'm
Okay.
a representative of the seniors who need a
Okay.
place. Okay?
Okay.
Not by anybody who ran it before.
It's a new year, and hopefully we can start off in a positive direction. I think we are. I think there is something that we actually have mutual agreement on there. So thank you, Mrs. Hartle, for your comments. Any other citizens to be heard? If you would state your name and write it down. Yeah.
My name is Dave Serposo, and I live on Hidden Lane. And I just want to put my 2 cents in, because my question was, and I haven't heard anything about the Milk Creek Golf and Recreation Center, golf course. Is there a facility there that could be used by the seniors?
There,
That's a comment and a question.
well, that's a very good comment,
Oh, yeah.
because we originally had hoped that the clubhouse could have been utilized. I think that Dee were down there, went for the tour. It's a very nice facility. However, it could not be operated in the winter. It gets winterized every year because it's built on a Superfund site. The utilities are very shallow, including the water, so we have to drain the water every year. So for some uses, it probably would be beneficial, but it could not be year-round. So that's that, and I think that Dee, I don't want to speak for you, but I think that you just didn't see the
Right, it wasn't large enough, really.
really, it's not a huge
Not really
facility.
big.
It has, a pro shop and it has a lunchroom, but it's not a huge facility for some things. But it's not, I don't think that that's one area that could be ruled out. I think that some things in the right times of year, it could be utilized.
Okay. Good question, I think.
What's happening to the golf course? Is it going to be a golf course again?
I'm hoping.
I drive by there. I drive by there many times every day.
I think that with a new
And
board,
they're maintaining it as if it could be a golf course.
we are required to maintain it, our agreement with DEP and EPA, not maintain it fully as a golf course, but make sure that it is mowed and that there's no damage to it by people running their dirt bikes or whatever on it. I'd like to have conversations, additional conversations with the board to see if there's some way that we can put it back into use.
I'm semi-retired now, so I'm available.
Okay,
If you want to, got my name and address.
Okay.
If you want to communicate.
sounds
Yeah,
good.
we'll make sure we take note of that there. Thank you, sir. Anyone else to speak? Okay. Okay, 10:25, I call for a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Can I second?
Okay, we're adjourned, 10:25.
You're watching the Mill Creek Government Channel, powered by WQLN Public Media.